Welcome to Qi Men Dun Jia. My name is Douglas Chan. Today I'm going to share with you how Qi Men Dun Jia can actually help to create a better relationship using some of the tools inside this Qi Men Dun Jia. So Qi Men Dun Jia is actually a 5,000 years of history in terms of the tool used by the ancient ancestor. So apparently along the way, there's a lot of people who use this tool to merge with religious, but apparently the real Qi Men Dun Jia has nothing to do with religious or even manifestation. So apparently what we need to understand is this. So this Qi Men Dun Jia, there's a few things that it can use to detect or even understand a certain person's character. So when we understand a person's character, how they will behave, why they will behave, and when they will behave, then it will create a kind of a certain certainty that you'll be able to use this form of energy to determine when is this person going to behave this way, or why is this person going to behave this way. So how do we actually use this? So for example, if you notice that this particular, for example, your spouse, you're going to understand that this person is a stubborn person or can be a fickle-minded person. And when is he going to be fickle-minded? When is he going to be stubborn? Is it going to be consistent, or is it going to be very randomly happens? So once you understand that this is the root of the problem, so how can we approach them and how do we communicate with them to ensure that there's going to be a better communication and less friction? So with that in mind, the method that you communicate with the other person is going to be very different compared to someone who is fickle-minded, someone who is super stubborn. So apparently, if a person who is super stubborn, then you cannot push him. You cannot force him to accept what you are. You have to let him think for himself. Come from an angle of not being pushy, come from an angle of being educative, and yet sharing information with him that he has to think for himself. But on the other hand, if this person is a very frequent-minded person, then you'll notice that the approach that you're going to reach out to these people is going to be different. It's going to be very random. And of course, the randomness is going to create a lot of uncertainty. But for the other party, it is okay. So actually, the technique used to approach a person in terms of communication is very important. So if you use a wrong method of communicating using your own preferred method, then end of the day, you're going to create a lot of problem within the whole community. So end of the day is this. Using the right technique, but knowing what is the root of the problem by using Qi Men Dun Jia. For example, this would be under destiny reading. So a destiny reading will see the person's ability in terms of their potential, their hidden character, the obvious character. Some of them we were able to know that even don't need to do any testing itself. Just based on the birth date and the time, we'll be able to see the 90% of what is the character of this person in the bulk picture. Of course, sometimes they may behave in an irrational manner, but most of the bulk of the character will be there. So from there, we're able to approach the person in terms of relationship using the right technique to talk to people, and then from there you'll be able to pinpoint and solve the problem. Alright, so this is one of the way where Qi Men Dun Jia can help in terms of battling a relationship. Thank you very much for watching this video.